Hello, everyone. My name is Diana Figueroa, and I am the Program Manager for the Family Child Care Capital Grant Program. This program is administered by Mass Development and funded by the Massachusetts Department of Early Education and Care. Thank you for tuning into this webinar and for your patience as we diligently review the large volume of applications that we received during the first grant round. Please note that this program has limited funding and not everyone will receive a grant. The purpose of today's presentation is to give you an overview of the key factors that influence our funding decisions, as well as the common pitfalls in the application process. Our goal is to better equip providers for submitting a competitive application in the second round. We will cover how to strengthen your application so that it aligns with our program's eligibility requirements and criteria. Since all applications were submitted in September of last year, let's start with a quick refresher on the program's purpose and objectives. This program is designed to support home-based childcare providers by funding improvements to your physical childcare space and expanding program capacity. Your objectives should focus on increasing enrollment, your license capacity, and/or improving the quality of your childcare environment. If you can tie these objectives into your application, your chances of receiving funding will be much higher. Many applicants were not approved in this first round because they requested ineligible expenses. If you applied for Tier 1, equipment purchased through this program must directly support program operations and have a useful warranty of at least 3 years. Your request must also be fixed and integrated into your space. This means that movable furniture or equipment are ineligible. Here are some further examples of ineligible items that are not durable, fixed, nor integrated. We had received requests for funding for portable items such as tables and chairs, toys or accessories, childcare supplies, and electronic equipment. Unfortunately, these are all ineligible under this program. In this grant round, we also received requests for funding home-wide improvements. Now, this program only covers upgrades to the areas where care is provided, which can include outdoor spaces like resurfacing pavement, adding fencing, and building decks or patios. We also encourage applicants to apply for energy-efficient equipment, specifically for the childcare space. But please note that HVAC equipment must also be fixed and integrated, as shown in the following images. Here is an example of an eligible funding request under Tier 2, which includes upgrades necessary for safety and accessibility. It's important to clearly explain the need for these upgrades in your project description and demonstrate how they will benefit the children in your care. Please note that basic bathroom upgrades or remodels are not eligible under this program. Now, to help providers submit competitive applications, we will now go over the 4 key elements of a successful grant proposal. First, start by telling us about your childcare business and project purpose. Every small business is unique, and we want to understand what sets yours apart in your community. The opening of your project description is your chance to highlight why your proposal is important. Secondly, your statement of need helps grant reviewers understand what problem your project aims to address. Be sure to explain why you need specific items and how this will help your childcare grow. Many applicants did not provide sufficient justification for their requests, which led to their projects not being approved. Let's take a closer look at points 3 and 4. Clearly outlining how your project will be implemented and the specific goals you plan to achieve is essential for demonstrating that you are prepared to receive grant funding. Additionally, it's important to ensure that the contractor you choose has the skills and experience to bring your vision to life. Now let me introduce the SMART Goals framework. This is a tool that can help you submit a successful grant proposal. By definition, SMART goals provide a clear path to success by transforming your ideas into concrete, achievable objectives necessary for a competitive grant application. Start with being specific. Define the purpose of your program or proposal. What problem does it aim to address? How does it align with the program's objectives? Your goals should be quantifiable and measurable, allowing you to track progress and ultimately project success. Ensure your goals are realistic and achievable within the time frame of the grant. Your project goal should be relevant and align with your child care's mission and growth. Lastly, in the case of FCCG, projects should be completed within a 9-month time frame, making your project time-bound. Here is an example of an applicant who would receive priority consideration using the SMART goals method. What stands out is how clearly the provider described how these purchases would improve quality of care and support business growth with the grant. The applicant provided a clear and compelling statement of purpose, as well as a background. Submitting a clear and detailed budget is essential for grant approval. A common reason for not approving applications was due to insufficient scopes of work or using unlicensed or expired home improvement contractors. Here are the key items to look for when submitting a quote, along with an example of an ineligible quote. This is an example of a valid quote, which includes all necessary details from both the contractor and the applicant. Be sure to provide an itemized budget to show exactly how grant funds will be spent, as this will be prioritized during our grant review. Additionally, some applicants submitted funding requests that exceeded the grant cap of $25,000 without providing proof of additional revenue or a personal match. This lack of clarity by the applicants might lead reviewers to assume whether applicants have access to the additional funds needed. The purpose of a detailed budget is to show us that you can successfully complete your project if approved for an award. As mentioned earlier, several strong applications were disqualified due to the use of unlicensed or expired contractors. To prevent this, we recommend verifying your contractor's credentials through the multiple license verification websites available online. You can find the links to these resources in the slide deck, which is emailed along with this video. Additionally, please be aware that contractors or any third-party vendors cannot be relatives. Now, as detailed in our email, Round 1 award recommendations will be announced in early summer. Applications for Round 2 will also become available then. If you have any questions in the meantime, you can call the help desk at 1-833-600-2074. Thank you for tuning in and hope you have a great one.